We good? There we are. Welcome back to No Fucks Given podcast with Aki. And I have a special guest today. And I'm going to have them introduce themselves to you guys. So here, who do we have on this side?
My name is Amy.
Well, all right, what's up, Amy? How you doing today?
No fucks given.
All right, no fucks given, that's for sure. So tell the people, what do you do? Why you're here? You know.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
I am a tattoo artist. I am chilling with my homie Aki. We're working on some business planning. Just had a fun day tattooing. It's a long day, but business doesn't sleep.
That's true. All right, so where can people find you?
On my Instagram, it's tattooed by AIM, TATTOOED by BYAIM.
All right, that's Amy, guys. On this side, who do we have today?
Tommy C.
All right, Tommy. So what do you do? What brings you to this neck of the woods? I love the smile.
Definitely a long story behind that, Aki. But I think the reason I'm here right now is, through our relationship, I've been able to work with you on music, business, and watch you blossom into upcoming DJ and producer. So I'm happy to
we got a couple of years
on podcast and have fun. Yeah, I mean, about me. I've spent 16 plus years in the music industry.
Okay.
I've been at bars, been at clubs, DJ'd around the United States. It's always been a blast. Actively DJ now still. I've moved a little bit away from the bar nights and I started doing workout classes.
Okay.
Shout out to F45.
Nice. There you go. Got getting business going around.
They definitely help supplement some income.
Bills don't sleep, man. Bills don't sleep. That's a known fact. Everyone has to work.
Cheers.
Unfortunately, cheers. That's a fact. That's some shit.
What, working?
Yeah, working.
What else is there to do besides work, man?
Well, there's a lot, man. Like on the last podcast, I was telling people, what happens if everyone actually did what they wanted to be? Like if you wanted to be a firefighter, if you wanted to be a circus trainer, or if you wanted to be a farmer, or you're good at something, you just did it because you didn't care about anyone else's opinions. You're going to be successful in that because that's your love. And when you love something, you don't go to work. You're just there enjoying life. But people just work now just pay bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if everyone did that and believed in themselves, there's so much more they could bring to the economy.
Much more to life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fulfillment.
Correct. So there's a lot.
Einstein wrote a book. I can't remember the name of it, but it was an account of his dreams. And one of them talks about, imagine kind of alongside that, you lived forever. Everyone would be divided into the people that go after what they want now, and then the laters, he called them, I'm just going to relax now and do it later.
And let life pass you by.
Yeah, well, and if reincarnation or we're coming back through another portal is real, we're already doing that. So it's like you're working to live and need to find a balance, but things are so expensive, and it's just like making the most of it too.
So that's what I was going to ask you guys. So like you guys being here, I enjoy that you guys came on and be live with me and talk about who you guys are. The question is going to be for you guys. So are you guys living, or are you guys dreaming your dream? Like, are you where you're wanting to be in life? Like, what was your dream, and are you living it?
Yeah. I mean, phenomenal question, right? I think everybody enjoys hearing that question as an individual, as a human, right?
It's a hard question.
Yeah. I mean, for me, my dream when I was young was obviously several different things, right? Because when you're young, you're just like, I could do anything, and that changes. One thing I definitely did fall in love with at a young age was music. I get that a lot from my father, my late father. He was a rock star. He was in a traveling band.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
Yeah, it was badass. He was lead guitars. Definitely, hippie vibe.
What's his name?
Jim Crabtree. And
There you go. Look him up, guys. Look
Great
him up.
name.
He was
Oh,
he was in a band called Wizard. They had a lot of cool, like, you know, late '60s, early '70s, like psychedelic rock.
Mhm.
And you know, a little bit more about that is, you know, my family is all musicians. So you know, my loins and my legacy, or all my life, was growing up around music.
Okay.
So I've always been in love with music. So when it was, you know, what do I want to do with my life? I started chasing DJ. You know, it was like the new modern kind of thing, right? I gave my shot at guitar, and you know, it was okay, right? But it just didn't like really reel in my heart.
Mhm.
It didn't tickle those strings.
Okay.
You know? It wasn't until I started listening to some like electronic music back in the day, like The Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, you know, Paul Van Buren, Carl Cox, even Tiesto, you know, that really just made me fall in love, you know. And then as soon as I got my permit and license when I was like 16 in Illinois, ironically enough, there was a new nightclub opening up in my town, and I was like, "Fuck, we gotta go." It was my buddy Alex and I, and because we were just jamming to like the same tunes at the same time, you know, we were loving it, right? And
Love that.
we were big into like cars and like stereo systems, so you know, that's what the hobby was, right? Throw a bunch of speakers in a car, and you know, how badass does it sound? So electronic music sounds fucking sick on you know 15-inch woofers, or you know, like it sounds sick. It'll rattle your car apart. Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You know a lot about cars?
No.
Me either.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Whatsoever.
Yeah. Tell me anything at Valvoline.
I hate you. They put the extra air.
Right. We gotta change your
$200.
We
gotta
made it
change your
extra
blinker
special.
fluid. Hey, there's food in there.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Give it a deli special.
Yeah. We got this, girl. Just go ahead and get it. We'll run her up.
Sorry, go back to that.
Yeah. So you know, we went to this club,
Okay.
and we actually, you know, we fucked up, and we got there a weekend early.
Oh shit! There you go.
We got
Just
there,
waited outside.
That's
we
fucked
got there.
up.
We were thinking we got there right when, you know, they said that, you know, it was going to open up. I think it was like 9:00. You know, and we like damn. I remember us getting out of the car vividly, and we're like, damn, we're the only fucking people here. There was like 2 other vehicles there.
That's so funny.
We're like, damn. We're like, all right, well, you know, it's a new club, so we're like, yeah, you know, probably going to take some time to get some people.
Oh no! How long did you wait?
No. So we knocked on the door.
I was gonna say, bro, you waited 3 hours there.
No, because
Does anyone
it was
know?
locked. It was locked. And that's
Okay.
where we were like, what the fuck? And then we were like, what the fuck's going on, right? So
The
we knocked,
vampires over there.
and this guy named Jimmy, an older guy, comes to the door, and he opens it up, and he's like, hey, sorry fellas, you know, we open up next week. And we're like, oh fuck, dude. You know, we look like fools. You know what I mean?
What do you think he was doing in there?
Well, let me continue. So what they were doing is they were putting the finishing touches on the club. You know, finishing up the floors, you know, setting up lights, and all we did as just young, kind of curious kids were like, do you need help with anything?
Oh no way!
And he was like, sure, come on in.
What?
Hell yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
So yeah, and mind you, this is before I started DJing. You know, it's before I had equipment. It's before I even really knew how to beat match or scratch.
Oh, that's how you
anything.
started at
Crazy.
16.
So I go into this club, and you know, I help them, you know, that night, and then like through the next week with like just other stuff. You know,
And not getting paid.
No, not getting paid. We went like 3 more
What
times,
the
I believe,
There it
through the
is.
next week. You
That-
know, we like went to
see?
school. We got out of school. We're like, let's go back and help. You know?
That's so cool.
Did
What
you know
that-
that? That you were paying your dues?
I had no idea.
What
man.
the fuck?
I had
That is
no idea at
wild.
the time. It was just all because I was just so in love with,
Yeah.
Right.
you know,
Well, it's
chasing that dream.
Okay.
You know, and that's, I can look back at it now in hindsight and be like, well, that was truly me chasing my dream, because I was willing to do whatever just to be involved in, you know, something new, and that had a piece of what I loved, and that was music. You know, a nightclub, like being.
So now, are you living the dream then? Like what you want?
Am I living the dream now?
That you want?
I've lived like a piece of my dream.
Okay.
You know, I did pursue DJing after that.
Okay.
You know, because I helped out them, all the DJs that were there started teaching me how to DJ.
Nice.
Some relatively iconic people from Chicago, Bad Boy Bill, like some Gordo, some very iconic folks.
Damn.
crazy.
It was really badass, you know, and it was because of Jake Schultz, who is now a personal friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that invested and opened up the club. It was his dad that greeted us, Jimmy.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
wild.
Jake's still a friend of mine, to this day, and I've done, other business.
It's so
ventures
crazy.
with
You
him.
have to pay your dues, but you don't even know that you're doing it, and something just happens.
And it's almost like right place, right time, or just divine
Meant to be,
intervention.
right?
That's
Yeah,
that
it's
was
like,
ballsy. Like, what
here
made
you
you think
go.
about asking? Like,
It wasn't even ballsy. We're just like,
what
you
the
know,
fuck?
we were just like,
of like,
yeah, because we were
selflessness.
relatively like into like being handy, because we were
Yeah.
working on cars. And,
that is so cool.
so we were like, fuck it, like, what do you need help with? So
Yeah.
we helped put in like some of the dance floor. We painted some stuff. We hung some lights.
You're reminding me of the Sandlot right now.
We did.
Like all nice shit. Like
Well,
you go
like
being nice, and then you get like just rewards just by being
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
That's
Kindness
a little bit of my
returns.
life motto,
Yeah,
man.
that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah,
So
little side
you're
subject.
living a piece of your dream. There's still more to achieve.
To answer your question, dude, I think that modifying your dream
Mhm.
over time is
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
And
100%.
because I respect myself a lot.
Because you're still dreaming.
And I know truly my happiness involves people.
Mhm.
So if I'm able to help coach, be involved, share advice,
Yeah.
then I'm living my dream.
Mhm.
And straight up, you've been a big part of that, my friend.
Yeah.
And I've always told you that. You asked me
Yeah. You
years
guys
ago.
want to know why?
Yeah. If you want to say it, go.
No, you said it. It's good.
Hey,
He's known me for a couple
You
of years.
asked me when you're, intrigued into DJing, and the stars aligned even then. You were there with some of my friends from Illinois here in San Diego, Tony.
This motherfucker scared the
Mike.
shit out of me. He goes,
Well, he asked
"We
me
were
at a
friends.
party,
We
he's
were
like-
friends."
He's
right?
like, he asked everybody. He's like, he's telling everybody, I want to learn how to DJ. And then my friends, they were like, dude, we got the best person here at the party. That
Hell
can teach you how to DJ.
Hell yeah.
So I went up and I was like contemplating it for so long, and then one of my best friends, Mitch, he goes, I was telling him like a lot, Missy Mitch. He's like, dude, just fucking ask him. He's your friend. He's not gonna fucking get bugged.
Yeah.
So I went up. I was like, fucking fine, whatever. And I went up to him, and then he goes, yeah, but don't fucking waste my time. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit. And then in my head, I didn't want to ask him because of that. Because why you asked me that? I was like, I didn't want to ask you because if I did, I don't want to lose you as a friend.
I respect.
You get me like that? I'd rather say friends and ask somebody else or figure it out by myself.
I respect that.
But I was like, fuck. I was like, this motherfucker just scared the shit out of me. I was
our
like,
friendship will
fuck?
always be over, business.
That was
the
fun.
DJ thing. But that's just me. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Some people are not like that.
Yeah. And real friends will be like,
I
hey,
just told
you're
you, yeah.
not
I
taking
told you
this
straight.
serious?
Yeah,
What
I
do
told you
you mean?
straight up
Like-
like that because I've been blessed, or I'm grateful and humbled that people have looked at my skill and my talent and my time, my dues, and they've reached out to ask me to teach them how.
yeah.
And unfortunately, some of those folks, they were just kind of half in.
Mhm.
So for me as a person, again, we're talking about my passion, and two passions, right? I got a passion for music and a passion for like teaching people. So, I'm in like bliss when I'm able to be in those situations. So I'm like all in, 100% in. And it just, in the past, it sucked to see someone, get that out of me, and then
all right, so watch
and
it.
then they quit.
We'll drop it there for now, because I'm gonna bring. That was the other question that I was gonna ask. Are you in your point in your life where you're living your dream, or? Because I asked because I was hanging out with one of my friends yesterday, and he's younger than I am, and he lives, I think, by himself or roommates. He just walks around, he's by himself, and then he does like technology. And I'm like, and I asked him that question. I'm like, what's your dream? He goes, no, I'm just living. And I'm like, what the fuck? That is crazy. Just like the simple things. Like, that was so cool to hear. And I told him, man, you're blessed. That was super awesome.
Yeah.
That was so crazy. So I want to hear people's dreams, and like if they are, and if they're not, what's stopping you from that? And that's why I stopped you there. That's gonna be the next one.
Well, and it's funny, that's kind of my perspective on it too, that life this year has taken so many turns and unexpected changes, and tattooing's amazing. I took a year off to find a back alleyway of relearning art and what made me an artist. I never grew up drawing or painting, and so I always felt this like imposter syndrome of like.
That's what he called me.
Well,
I was so
it's-
pissed. I was like, what? I was offended. I was like, why? What the fuck you just called me?
That's just psychology.
And then I
But
figured
think
out
it's
what
the
it
most
was, and that's why I
successful
wasn't
people
mad
have
after.
it, that it's
Totally.
being able to reflect at like, am I doing this? Like, what can I do better? Like, do I even need to fit in? Who am I trying to impress?
Yep.
That I realized, like, I don't care. I'm doing it because it's something I'm good at. There's always room to grow and something like study new styles and being able to, you know, I'm the creator, not the consumer. And it became this like science, like of just breaking things down and just doing it. And I learn new things every day. And I think that's what makes me live my dream.
So that's your dream, being an artist, as a tattoo artist?
Yeah, and a student. And I love
Student.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Damn, she
like-
just dropped that student. She
It's-
wants to be both.
Yeah.
Because you're always learning, no matter what.
right. And
As
even
long as you leverage it in the right light.
Correct.
right. And that's where I think the dream can shift, that as long as you are doing what I think you're good at, that you can
Mhm.
kind of detach from the like over analyzing of just being so like focused on the details and connect with people and like be able to just, you know, it's like year 3 at a job, you stop thinking about how do I do my task. You just are in
it's
that
like
flow.
autopilot.
And
Autopilot,
right,
bro.
yeah.
We're all
And so I
fucking
can really
robots.
connect with people. And my dream from a young age has always been to be a therapist, and I kind of get to do that every day now.
I wanted to be a sex therapist.
You know, I did too for a
And
while.
then I couldn't pass biology.
or even like
Fuck me over.
health class at a
Fucking
school, but I think even now, I think it goes like generation by generation too. Like who knows
With
what
what?
they're like teaching health in
Oh,
schools.
yeah.
Like who knows what they're teaching
It's
now.
definitely changed a lot.
That I think it's
Yeah.
connecting with people kind of, I mean, one aspect would be connecting with people your own age, and just I found with everything, the more open you are with anything, people feel comfortable sharing with you. I had a boss say, the sooner you make a fool out of yourself, the more people feel comfortable. The quicker
100%.
people feel comfortable
Yep.
around you. And like,
And
it's like we're all going through
and
the
if
same
you,
things.
If
Like,
you like succumb, you know,
What is that?
embarrassment or a challenge, like succumb or overcome, like like what she's saying, like, you know, makes a mistake,
right,
embarrasses herself.
right,
How she treats that can be inspiring.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
right.
That may be fearful of doing the same. You know, that those kind of actions, and they would put that in a psychological sense. You know, people that, you know, succeed through embarrassment or, you know, failure,
Yeah.
they are a light to many
Yeah.
people, because and what they would consider leaders,
Right.
so
Yeah.
to speak.
So is that what taught you the mistake?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe
If you've reflected on it,
right.
and
And
it was a piece of, like, you know,
it,
education, right?
well, I
Did
guess,
you?
is that what taught me what specifically?
Like, to be the artist that you are now as a tattoo artist?
Well, and it's kind of like,
passion.
so,
Well,
sounds
yeah,
like
what makes you want to do the
passion.
tattoos?
so I actually, I signed my lease at the store in Encinitas before I even did my,
What's the store name?
it was a Himza Skin
yes.
Co. And so I closed the business.
She's currently doing private studio work. if
Private
anybody's
Yeah.
interested.
Appointments.
If you guys want some
you can-
tattoos.
reach me on Instagram, tattooed by AIM.
How do you do that? How do you spell that?
TATTOOEDBYAIM.
I mean, honestly,
And we're gonna have
I need
a
new
live
tattoo.
shoot.
I might have to reach.
We're gonna have a live shoot where she's gonna do it at my house on my other thigh.
I have a back piece across my shoulder blades.
Crazy.
That way
What do
you guys
have?
can see what's going on.
Well, my father passed away. I got Crabtree on my back. But it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But
Well, and that's what like tattoos are so special, and like to be able to like hold that space for people. And when I taught yoga many years ago, and I remember my first class, I was so nervous, and my mentor was just like, "It's not about you."
Yeah.
And being able to just like give someone that space in a private setting to acknowledge whatever it is they're getting the tattoo for, like.
yeah,
At first, it was so much about making a perfect tattoo and so much pressure on me to make perfect art when I was like, am I even an artist?
Yeah.
And then went on a soul journey and started trying different forms of art. I was painting on jeans. I was painting like any object. And then I was really resistant to start back up again and was applying for like every random job and nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, for the first time, I like imagined myself doing it again. And that same day I started booking, which was crazy.
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I definitely should have like figured this out through. But yeah, no, and I'm a different person. I am making the same mistakes that I did when I first started tattooing and remembering like, oh yeah, that's why I do this. But it's taught me to relearn from a new lens and not care because I'm just making the art and connecting.
So are both of you guys artists? Because everyone's like the way, and the reason I asked that is like what I believe in is that everyone's born an artist, and you could, like you said, change your artistry, change your dream. Everyone's still an artist because you're human. Everyone has dreams. If you don't have dreams, you're dead. You're there. Like everyone has some kind of dream, right?
Right.
So when I say, yeah, correct.
Right.
Like I want to.
People find solitude.
I think why I ask those questions is because I want to push people's boundaries to believe that they in themselves. And asking those questions, a simple question like, "Are you doing it? Why not?"
Yeah, and most people can't. They usually have a hard time.
Correct, and that's okay. But I start making people think about it. When I first started asking the question, I asked it to one of my friends.
Never asked that question.
Yeah, dude. So Ian, I asked him that, and then he couldn't answer. He goes, "Man, I don't know." Yeah, and I thought we were done with it. I thought we were done with the conversation. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, a week later, he hits me, and when he sees me, I'm like, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Your stupid ass question." I'm like, "What question?" You're like, "What's your art?" I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah.
So I made him think about it.
Yeah.
But I know that it's gonna. I asked that question because it makes people think. What is your art? Like everyone's born at a different time for a different reason for a different cause. Find that art. You're gonna challenge yourself. You're gonna lose yourself or gain yourself. You're gonna lose a lot of friends or gain more friends. You're gonna be surrounded by what your dream is and how you're gonna get there. It's gonna be a fucking challenge, but you believe in yourself.
You're gonna go through all the stages.
Yeah, correct.
Like social interactions,
correct.
Chasing your passion.
So like
you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have
and that's the question
have people that
I was gonna ask, because people's opinions always get into people's brains and who they want to be. If people said you can never be a DJ, everyone said the same thing.
Well, I mean, people said that to me when I was young. When I was, the young kid. The only kid in my high school trying to get people handing out flyers to come to like my first gigs, at that same club. Yeah, everybody was saying they're laughing at it.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's the shit part.
And those are the most successful people because you got in.
Honestly, I know I never cared even then.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say, nowadays there is a little chip, especially if I go back to my hometown and stuff. And there's many people that is like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time. They're like, you still DJing? I'm like, yeah, dude, I never stopped.
Well, and you did a lot of people.
And then they open up. They're like, yeah, I know. I've been watching you.
You deserve to.
They're like, I've been watching
that proudly
because people always say that they watch. Everyone watches all the time. So like that's why when the question was that, like, why people don't chase that dream, chase their art, because opinions always kind of put people down from believing in themselves, and then if their even their own loved ones won't believe in them.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Usually the first people to ruin your dream are the people that are closest to you.
Yeah.
Well,
because that's why it's usually out of genuine love, because they want to see you successful
in a normal life though.
Well, what's normal?
That's what
normal subjective though.
Correct.
So everybody's idea of normal
in where they live at. So if I was still in the projects, my mom was wanting me to be successful just passing high school.
Right.
Right.
So for other people it'd be like, damn, you gotta pass Harvard. That's your thing.
Sure, you gotta become a doctor.
Right. Well, and that's like with art, like Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys said,
Great band.
amazing,
Phenomenal
love
band,
them.
yeah.
You're the creator, not the consumer. And that's why oftentimes like the band's favorite track on an album will not
It's
be
not
the most popular,
one.
right?
That is so crazy.
Yeah,
That's
and
so
it's
true.
like that's where
That is
you
wild.
succeed as a DJ.
It's also kind of like a a tactic as well. Like, and that's what's so beautiful about listening
Interesting.
into these very successful artists.
I didn't even know that.
You know, they
It's passion.
a lot of them have created before they're like big hit, EP or album. You can look at their discography and you'll see like so much music that they probably have more passion towards
Yeah,
than
that's
maybe
so
their
true.
big hit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what I'm saying is like a lot of the times, when you're an artist, especially in music,
Yeah.
You come to a point where you're like, all right, how do I really start generating some revenue off of this?
Or even any
Right.
business.
How do I make my
It's at
time
any business.
my
That's
time
why I
I'm
asked that question.
spending a little bit more than just about my passion?
100%.
Well, it's your value.
And then
You
that-
recognize your
right.
value in it, which monetary
Right.
value, like
But I was gonna dig into just there's also a system to everything in this world.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a system to everything. So sometimes they would say this is like selling your soul to the devil.
100%. That's
Right.
a lot of people do say that.
Or,
all
or,
the time.
Robert
when,
Johnson.
or like when an independent artist, or like when an independent.
Robert Johnson. There's a story that he sold his soul to the devil to become an amazing blues guitarist.
Yeah.
There's a
Damn,
thing on that.
really?
They say it even
Yeah.
about
What?
like
That's
even
about
like
that.
Miley Cyrus. I mean,
Interesting.
and that's what I'm trying to tap into here. Is
Yeah.
like, if they're, I'm not fully religious, but I'm a spiritual person, right?
Right.
I try and I feel energy, and I can understand when they say selling your soul to the devil. You're kind of like saying I'll do anything for
Mhm.
popularity, right?
And that comes
What I'm trying to get at
in
though
any,
too is at the same light. If you leverage that in the correct light, you pull something off like maybe the
Correct.
Black Keys.
Yeah.
They finally make a big hit. Now they're generating a lot of revenue, and then if you notice, their albums after kind of their big hit are probably now they're back in their passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually just went to England to record with, I can't remember who it was, but they didn't even know if he was going to agree to it.
What?
And
Really?
Yeah,
they
they're
got
probably
3 out of 4
starstruck,
days that they had this studio reserved, and they have, I'd say, 5 to 10 tracks in the last 5 years that they got their recording in one try, and it's
Wow.
they write their songs in 2 hours.
What?
It's
Jesus.
insane. I love that.
Yeah, now when I produce, it takes me 2 hours to finish what I have.
Yeah, especially
Very
on like a
interesting,
DAW,
yeah.
on a
It's so
DAW,
fun.
in the beginning
Producing
stages
is so
of
fun.
producing,
It's a lot of work.
music, especially on a digitally a DAW, you got to learn the software
Yeah,
first.
correct.
A ton.
A
A
DAW,
DAW,
DAW, digital
Ah.
audio workstation.
Change
Cool.
Minnesota down.
Yeah, that's where people ever talk about
Coca-Cola
Fruity Loops
beats.
or Ableton.
Okay. Oh,
Pro
so that's
Tools.
the umbrella.
That's what
Well,
we're
there's a
gonna.
lot of those competitors.
I'm gonna
right?
use
There's all
that.
different
She's gonna do
software.
my intro. What is it?
You're
You're
listening
really-
to Aki Music on BBC Radio 1.
That honestly sounds fucking sick. Like I'd
That's
like to
right.
record you to
Got you,
throw you
man.
over.
BBC
This
radio.
is Aki.
I used to do that. So
That's gonna be fun, my friends. That's gonna be fun.
a lot of my best friends that I have to this day were the same people I met at that club.
Damn, really?
My buddy Scott Kidd, Matt Shipley, Max Tyson, Tommy Solis,
Are they still in the
tattoo
business?
artists.
Oh,
They make phenomenal music. Tommy Solis goes to
that sounds
Ireland.
familiar.
Oh, he's amazing.
What was the name of the club?
It's called Club Illusion. Club wasn't
Whoa.
very. It ended up not being very popular, unfortunately.
That's a
but-
very synchronistic name.
Yeah, it was cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
It just really matched the vibe, right?
I want to go to
In that
Germany
case-
and all
in that
those
case, it was
clubs.
location.
Those are crazy.
Location kind of killed it.
Like the warehouse.
Well, no, I mean, I'm from Illinois, Chicago, and this was a little bit in the sticks. And I'll just say, open up a nightclub, maybe in the hood. There's not a lot,
not in the sticks.
not a lot of
By the cows.
not a lot of audience that really vibe into that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
The
if we were
environment,
dropping,
man, that's
if we were
crazy.
dropping a bunch of hip hop all the time,
Yeah.
undoubtedly we would have been, probably in business. But
Hell yeah.
I mean, but that whole experience really, helped me take off and start getting gigs and learning from the ground up. Man.
So where you guys are at now, knowing that you guys do believe in yourselves being the artists that you guys are, right? you don't have to remember an example or whatever, but have other people stopped you guys from doing what you guys wanted to do? Like, no, you can't do that, or when you're small, say, no,
dude, not
people not believing you or
anymore.
whatever. But
Just
you did.
me.
I've actually,
But you did-
I've
you
actually
got it,
had
right?
probably more run-ins now at my age where like someone, you know, if they try to shame or like put me down on what I want to do, it's just like more proof that I'm doing exactly what I
So,
should be
It's
doing.
almost like it
And you
shows you too. You can't
Yeah.
escape it.
Well, let me
Like,
ask all you guys a question.
Mhm.
Do you spend any time trying to criticize someone else in your life?
Fuck no.
no, and that's the thing
Criticize
too that I
myself so
realize
much I
most
don't have
people
time for
don't
anybody else.
care.
Most people don't think about anybody
They-
else
Yeah.
but
Or
themselves.
it's 5 seconds.
So, and,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, like, if someone has spent enough time to like criticize you on, you know, chasing what makes you happy, what's that tell you? That you're probably at least
something
for me,
good.
I take it as that tells
Doing
me that
good.
I'm probably
Yeah.
doing something that, you know, someone is perceiving as fuck. I wish I could do it, or, you know, something along
Right.
those lines.
And
you know?
also, people are allowed not to like it at the
Totally.
same time. That
Totally.
it's like,
But
Totally.
no matter what,
that's
if
where
you
you
do,
know you love it.
yeah, if you do good, people
it
are gonna
doesn't
judge you.
affect you.
If you do bad, people are gonna judge you. Doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. Like, again, opinions don't pay bills. Do what you want to do as an artist, but so many people can't because
Well,
they believe in those ideas of other people, which is fucked up. So what made you guys both believe or actually start saying I can do this? What's something that you guys could tell people? Be like, all right, I'm doing this. It took me a long time because it took us a long time. It took me a long time to
Yeah.
accept myself as an artist. It took me 3 years.
Well, so I took a year off, and I think just in hindsight, the year was so beneficial because so many people will push and push and push. And sure, if you put the hours towards it, you're going to be amazing. But stepping away, and then there was one day my
it's like
best friend,
re-examining yourself.
right? So
I
one
did
day
the same thing with the
my
DJ stuff.
best friend,
Yeah.
Lex, love you, girl. She
Shout
told
out.
me, she was like, "You're so good at it. Why don't you do it?" And people had told me that over and over, and I heard it for the first time from her, and it just was this like,
That one,
I
yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
I was like, so many
What-
people don't like work a job they don't love, and I'm so lucky to have this that I'm great at, and I love connecting with people. That was the moment I just kind of,
So you need someone's push to
Decided to
believe
go
in yourself.
back
It-
in.
I think hearing it from my best friend and getting as close as we have over the years and listening to someone so close that I could trust when I don't see things clearly.
Yeah.
And probably she's never had to say that to you. And then
And
finally when
she's
she
such
did,
a-
finally when she did, you're
Yeah.
like,
she'd
All
say
right,
it to me
all
all the
right,
time. She
yeah.
just got a promotion at work, seeing her do
Yeah.
so well and just
have
persistently
enough
asking
love, have
me.
enough love for your friendship too to be
Yeah.
like, hey,
That's
And
crazy.
I,
That's
I'm
you know,
sorry.
like-
I realized it was like she tells me this all the time. I was like, someone that keeps pushing me, I can push myself. And it's
Yeah.
also just like, just do it. Like
Yeah.
I think also having a passion, but then being able to separate the passion too. That like I have bills, I have a life that
exactly.
I get to do what I like. And obviously with, like we were saying, with enjoying work-life balance, like not every day is going to be stellar,
Rainbow,
even
yeah,
doing
yeah.
what you love.
Yeah.
But it's just pushing it, finding new ways to be challenged, and like even like seeing that taking a step away was like a different person
Yeah.
coming back.
You need a break from everything, no matter what.
Right. And
Like,
you
it
have
makes a
to
big
like
difference.
sometimes too, I think it arrives at you no matter how many times you try to say.
I couldn't agree more.
Someone can tell you something 50 times on
Yeah.
the 51st time you hear it, and it's always been waiting right
Yeah.
where you left it off. That like
But I think it's everyone needs that. Like that's why I started believing in myself more as well, because like he said it for a long time. Like, yeah, you are an artist, but I'll go last. Like, what made you believe in yourself or start saying, I am gonna do this? Fuck everybody else.
Dude,
What was
straight
that
up,
like?
what made me
Yeah,
kind of
like,
like
not give a
concretely
shit
tell
anymore.
myself was in
What was
my,
the turning point?
you know,
or
during
when?
my early days of DJing, it was because I've paid my fucking dues. And I've
Cheers to
built
that.
self, you know, grass taught or grass, you know, however you want to
I
say
don't
it.
know what
Right?
the fuck you're talking about.
Well, I'm saying like grassroots.
Yeah.
I found it. I've
from the ground up.
came from
Oh,
the
you
ground
made
up.
yourself.
You know, like I was DJing gigs when I didn't have speakers. I was trying to put it all together through making good connections.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, let me throw you $50 to borrow your speakers to do this gig. I think honestly, when I knew that I had like, some talent as an artist, was
when did you know?
during many house parties back.
Yeah.
Like because I was a relatively popular person where I come from. Again, a lot of phenomenal relationships, and I knew when everybody would flock. What's Tommy doing? People would chase me around. They would come to whatever bar I was DJing at. They would come to it.
Well,
and they're like, "Hey, where's after party? What are you doing?"
It's the reason. It's the moment you realize, like, oh, I am good at
this. Yeah.
Like,
and there is a little sense of power in it. There really
it is. It's like
scary. A little reason I took it like a step back is like when we first met. I told you like I wasn't actively DJing.
Yeah.
And I took a step back because my love and passion was foggy. Through the years, it started kind of changing.
Instead of being the love, it started being work.
It started changing a little bit. It was definitely like I felt the work feeling for sure.
Yeah.
But there was also
there
was also demons that I needed to like sit with and understand better and find that in myself before I allowed maybe those demons to quite literally ruin my dream.
Couldn't have said it better. And it's finding the reason I started, and then it served a purpose for me to have a safe place to be and express myself. And then there was a point where that purpose had been served. And I was like, you need to redevelop the purpose of what you're doing.
Yeah, to keep you going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And like always find new ways to make it fun. And I think like you were saying with connecting with people, like it's making art. You have all of these other places to turn to when one of them feels like it's like, okay, I'm not connecting with drawing, but at least I get to, I met a cool person today. Yeah. And like, even just giving yourself permission to like, make the worst song you can today. Yeah. Like, and it's not even bad. You listen to it and you're like, cool. Like, and then we're our own harshest critics too.
You're making things happen.
It's terrible.
That's the hard part that it took me a long time too to understand that it takes time to be the person that you want to be. Well, no one got there overnight. Like, damn, like,
and the only way you're going to be the person you want to be is by pushing yourself,
right?
And stepping out of the bubble,
right? Well,
whenever you feel that bubble, you step out of it.
I think it's those.
It's not a rush.
People that see it as a challenge of like, okay, now what? Like, rather than this, like, fuck, this is hard. You don't get defeated. You like see it as a like, let's climb over this hill. Let's go. Like,
it's kind of an identifier, right? I've watched just different videos from different big artists, right? I mean, we were talking earlier because you get to see about like grips,
the axis.
Like I recall a video and like they were asking similar questions like you're asking. They're like, what keeps you going? And he's like, well, anytime I feel like. Like if I add in some new funky riff here and, like I'm afraid of how the crowd is going to feel that, I know that I need to do it.
Yeah. I watched a comedian say that. It's like, if you're doing the same safe things that works, one, you figured those things out by trying shitty things, and then you evolve them, and then they're not always going to be these like
the exact
hitters, but then it's also like who's your audience?
Yeah,
like,
correct.
Right.
It could go anywhere. Like,
exactly.
Like art like that, like the one that I have here. They're like, damn, that's just nice. Oh my god, I got it like in the street years ago.
Yeah.
People making can like, dude, it's who is your audience? Anyone could be your audience. You can't not create something if you believe in it. It's nice.
Even if one person enjoys it,
that's art.
Yeah, it's like
still art.
I mean, it's really art, even if
it's crazy.
It's like, hey, if you like it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point. Like being.
That is definitely the beauty, especially like paintings and like that drawing. That's like it's so. To put a price tag on.
I would like to go to those
museums.
Like,
it's all over the place.
Yeah, totally.
Some of the most bitchin' badass paintings, might have taken that artist like
It's
you
so
know, 5 minutes.
crazy.
5 minutes to
Wild.
throw on a canvas. You know what I mean?
Right.
They might have looked at it like this piece of shit, but then the audience is like, wow, this is fucking badass.
It's so.
And as a joke, sometimes you probably wonder, you're like, man, you have a lot of mushrooms? I'm not seeing what you're seeing. I don't know what's going
Not gonna
on.
lie, dude, they're worth so much money. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, and that's where I feel like people who are so passionate, the ones who take mushrooms and do the coolest, intricate things, are generally kind of priced lower than the people who
100%.
do these minimalist things that they can kind of like just like squeeze out the museum and have these write-offs that it's like,
Yeah, because those are
It's-
strategic.
so do you
pieces,
think
right?
passion-
Strategic pieces.
people with this deep connected soul passion might not be valuing their work
No.
at enough,
I think-
or
I
it's
think
like
that's-
what's
I
the
think
reward is
That is
the
the
creation
truth. It's
part.
not that I don't think that it's like they're not valuing their work. enough,
Value it by monetary,
but they're not concerned with leveraging.
right.
You know, maybe
Well,
their soul or
creation
whatever
has
it is
more
to,
value
to
versus
make-
money value. Then it's like
to some people.
totally,
You know.
yeah.
So you think every dream has a sell? Like you have to sell yourself to be the best baker, the best.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You gotta sell. You gotta sell yourself to yourself, right?
Well,
That's
and I
part of
think
the
that's-
whole thing. Believing
That's
in
believe
yourself.
in yourself. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
sell
you
yourself.
can't-
What?
you can't
That was
sell-
crazy.
If you
Just
can't
use
sell your
mindfuck me.
dream to yourself,
That was
then
crazy.
Right.
That was
who the
cool.
fuck else is gonna buy it?
Well, and
Wow.
it's also like
That was sick.
you
Not
need
gonna lie.
money in this world to do things you love with family and friends, and I
Yeah.
think where you are directing that current of energy, that's like the abundance. That's like if you're looking to like rack up your bank account to sit there and like you have to have a direction for it, and that's the abundance is that's like the people who will do mushrooms and make
Are
amazing
those the
art.
people
That's
that
their
grow,
abundance.
or like what are those vessels, or where they have people just come to them for the energy or whatever?
Yeah, it's a magnet of just appreciation, and even like with money, there's appreciation, depreciation. That's like if you are sending the current in places that you appreciate, it's a
Do you understand
circuit.
stuff like the energy stuff?
yes.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely leverage. I leverage. What I'd like to say is I try to spend. I mean, there's undoubtedly bad days. We all have bad days, right? But I know to myself, just through my own dedication to my own mental and the person I am, that I spend 98% of my time and my mental thoughts thinking positive, most as positive
Because you
as I
have
can.
to.
Because I've seen through my life that even in shitty situations, if I could find things end up working out.
Why not?
And and like maybe a therapist might say that's like a defense mechanism or something like that. I'll take that, and it is what it is. But I'm not crying about it.
Correct.
Right.
So that
well,
means I don't perceive it as a problem.
it's like at what point are
So
they?
that the
You should
defense-
have a
yeah,
problem
there's a-
with
yeah,
this.
yeah.
That's
correct.
That's
a big pharma comes out of nowhere, dude.
right, yeah.
Yes.
I
All the
definitely
fucking
try to
I'm
time.
gonna write you a prescription
Oh.
for.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like so, like
Here's that morphine that you were asking. Dude.
like so like
Oh,
what
what
are
are
some of the-
Xanax?
what are some of the things that you would sell to other people, saying as an idea of who they could become, how they could do that? Are they going to do it by themselves? What's something that you guys did individually that made you want to do that where you're at, and what you could help other people wanting to be in your shoes right now? Because you never know who's looking at you, right? Everyone's always watching. Somebody wants to be in someone else's shoe all the damn time. What's a guy that you guys could tell individually what worked for you guys?
You go first.
I mean,
And he just threw it
I
out.
know.
that's fine. I mean, I'm never really trying to sell shit to anybody.
Mhm.
It's not really my my focus, right? But I definitely, if the conversation is open for it, if I meet someone new, we're having heart to hearts or deep conversation, what I've learned is, just having enough courage to ask people questions without judgment and giving them, a safe space.
Yeah.
And I don't like always saying safe space. Not that it's politically driven, but we just live in a really weird, social climate right now. But I think providing someone, your ear and just company is the first step to helping someone unlock, maybe whatever they want to do.
Active listening.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's better than being with a friend that, you have a deep connection with, and even when you don't need someone to talk to,
they're just there.
They're there, and like and then even like what's even more impactful for me is I've been very fortunate to have great friends around me, is having that understanding gives me foundation. It gives me strength.
So how are
to
people
be who I want to be.
So you're telling people what?
I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
Now, undoubtedly, sometimes, in situations, when I look back, I've definitely maybe unraveled and gave someone what I think they should do.
So you want to be a student, like she said.
But in reality,
Right.
If they didn't actually, accept that or ask for it, I'm kind of being the rude person then in that moment.
Right.
Is what I think someone should do is
Someone's opinion,
especially if it's unsolicited.
Correct.
That's rude.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
rude.
and you're allowing them to come to their own conclusion or understanding of the questions you're asking them, that they can.
Correct.
They have the liberty and the beginner's experience of being able to figure it out, but knowing that they got there on their
Helps them
own
take on, like, the next
experience.
one.
Yeah. And it's like you're just challenging them to think about it how they would do it and what seems right to them.
Without my opinion.
Right. It's like a little guidance of like, and it gives them the liberty of like having their own beginners of it too. And I think even over or like opinions kind of not like only them to one way, but it's hard. It puts this pressure that it's like
Depends
I
on
need
the
to
person.
be right.
It's so crazy how there's always so much pressure.
Well,
it
I
depends on
think
the
you
person.
end up where you should be no matter the route you take to
correct.
get there.
I think that's kind of the beauty of like life, right?
Yeah. Everyone
That's why
has
they
their
say
own
it's like
different ways.
everything's destined, right? Destined to be, right?
Do you believe in free will?
What is that?
Asking the hard questions. Do you think we're able to make our own choices, or is everything completely laid out in a planned script for your life? Like if you decide to turn left.
I'm just in a bubble.
Yeah, but I think what's
I'm
interesting about
just-
her question is like, a lot of people will say exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Like I'm a free for all, or I'm not worried.
I'm just
about
like in the middle of my own
which
music,
is
and that's
kind
it.
of that's bliss. You're
Yeah.
kind of living in a state of bliss.
That's it. Yeah, you said that.
Other
You
folks
said
are
that
really
before.
like so
And I
fine tuned
guess-
and focused on like goals and things they need to succeed at.
To
or tick
apply
off.
it to your story more specifically, do you think you were like born into a family that was full of musicians, that you could be funneled into this because it's like a gift for you? Or do you
like a conveyor belt with the
choose?
tortillas?
Did you choose?
See, there
You
it goes
know,
again.
it's like what?
It's like the conveyor belt with the tortillas.
tortillas.
It has the same-
tortillas,
Yeah. Are you the tortilla machine or the tortilla?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I'd say that thought, great question. That thought's been through my head on many occasions, right? There's a piece of me that goes, damn, I'm proud to be blessed with the beauty of growing up with musicians.
Mhm.
And then also at the
No,
same
I'm
time,
glad
it's
that.
like, you're right, I was going to fucking do this anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
You
could
know,
have chose something else. And I
correct.
think the musician family is a gene.
I do
It is
multiple
a gene.
things, fortunately, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do the software dev, and
Right.
I'm pretty well off in that as far as talent.
Did
So I
anyone
try
in
to
your family do that? Or
not at all.
crazy.
Not at all. But then again, we're talking.
See, but
I'm
you
in my
have to.
30s, like there
there's
really
an
wasn't
art.
like software dev back then.
There's an art,
my
but
dad
then
was
there's
like
the
playing
job.
the guitar and
Yeah.
eating acid. He was like, man, what are we gonna do with this software tomorrow? Like that wasn't
So
going
like,
on.
that's a hard
I'm
part.
gonna go on ChatGPT and ask.
We gotta
him.
do
Amazing.
that.
Write
We
me
gotta
a
use that
song.
more.
Yeah.
Like, that's
ChatGPT
the hard
writes.
part though. Like becoming the artist that you want to be, that you truly believe in with your whole heart. You still gotta work, feed yourself, try to make time for everybody else. It's hard to
It's
do
not
everything
fun and
alone.
games.
Yeah, you're doing everything yourself, but at the end of the day, you're gonna only have to take care of yourself all the time. No matter what, it could be.
It's the only thing you got.
Yeah,
right? I know
like,
that might be.
It sucks because like
deep
like
one
you
in
said
it. Yeah.
earlier, like even the closest people are the ones that fuck you over. Like that, it's true. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Oh, 100%.
Love, it could be water, blood.
I mean,
It
dude,
doesn't matter.
The only person that can really hurt you is someone
It's
that
yourself.
loves you,
And
or
it's,
that you
it's
have love for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
karmic relationships that teach you who's a healthy mirror, and you can not even have like bad blood towards anyone. It's just like you're not a healthy reflection, and standing firm in that, regardless blood, whoever, like just there's always going to be, it's all projection too.
Yeah,
Everyone's coming from their
people are
own.
always gonna be jealous if you do good or bad. Doesn't fucking matter.
Right. And
Well, I
do
mean,
you.
you're gonna encounter those people more often.
Mhm. When you're
You
doing
may be
better.
possibly or
What you said
holding on to
earlier.
those thoughts. in
yes,
your body
totally.
and soul.
It's the law of attraction.
What'd you say earlier? The more that they're obsessed with your winning or what?
The
What
more
you say?
someone's obsessed with you not doing well, you're probably doing pretty
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
that was such a
Because
trick.
again,
That's
I
so
mean,
true,
it's just
though.
like, who really, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like if I see one of my friends, close friends fucking up, I'll criticize it.
What do they say? Bad publicity is
love,
still
yeah.
publicity.
But yeah, right. But if there's someone just
Nah,
you
man.
just mad or that you don't have like a really
Yeah.
strong relationship with, and they're like always criticizing.
Yeah,
or something,
it's crazy.
But again, it's just how you leverage it. Like some people fold to stuff and comments like that. And
Yeah.
some people are empowered.
Yeah.
Well, think of a celebrity. They get the comments on Instagram of nonsense
Oh,
all the time. And I think it's just,
horrible.
you're so
People are always
busy,
in
you're
a
not
bitch,
even
no matter
engaging
what.
in it.
I don't know. A
It's
lot of
like,
those people say they're like, I've read the comments.
Yeah.
They fucking
I
suck.
know. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've all had those days where
Sad
like, I'm gonna
music,
listen to a sad
sad
song because I'm sad.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know, I like sad music. in
Yeah.
general, though.
It does make you think, a lot.
They're on some rock and fucking
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Right.
just Limp Bizkit,
Oh,
break
you like
stuff.
Limp Bizkit? Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm a big Fred Durst fan for sure.
Amazing.
Oh
So good. Who
my
else?
lord.
Yeah, you're pretty badass.
Let's go to a mosh pits.
I mean, I've moshed
You
before. but-
moshed?
No.
Oh, I was like, bro, you like
No.
knocked
I
it
that
out.
would
I haven't.
I mean, there's rules to a mosh pit too.
Yeah.
There's proper ways to mosh.
I hate when you're in the front and they just.
I mean, the whole
you.
point is not to knock each other out. You know what I mean?
Open this pin up.
Yeah.
Fuck
Open
this.
this fucker up.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for checking in with us and hanging out. Again, to this side, who do we have?
Amy, tattooed by Aim, TATTOOEDBYAIM on Instagram.
There we go, guys. And on this side,
Tommy C. IG handle is Commy T. COMMYTEE. Flipped it around. I don't really want to get found
That's so
on the
funny.
internet at all, but
I love
y'all
that.
have it.
Wait, one more time. We just heard her laugh. What was it?
Commy T, man.
How do you spell it?
COMMYTEE.
All
Flip
right,
the T
there
and
you
the
go.
C.
And you guys know where to find me. OCCYMUSIC. I am now live on Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Instagram for my first single. Go check it out. Enjoy it. Let me know if you guys like it. If you do, go share it. Subscribe. Love you guys. Have a good night. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, man. Where are we? All right. I got to get up. All right. Bye, guys. Bye.
Mouse die on you.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that was fun, dude.
all right. Pass me.